Hello, everyone.
My name is Aurelia and Valentina from 11 Science 8 option number 7.
And my name is Nabila Rei Salmabella from class 11 Science 8 absent 23. And today we're going to explain about explanation text with the topics of how geysers occurs.
For general statements, geyser is one of nature's most spectacular wonders. Geyser is a rare kind of hot spring that is under pressure and erupts, sending jets of water and steam into the air. The term is derived from the Icelandic word geysir, meaning to gush. Even a small geyser is an amazing phenomenon. However, some geysers have eruptions that blast thousands of gallons of boiling hot water up to a few hundred feet in the air. They are generally associated with volcanic areas. In general statement, we can find some of scientific words such as geyser, hot spring, erupts, and volcanic. Okay, next, we also can find adjective simple present tense in general statements. The formula is subject plus to be can be is, am, or are, plus nominal adjective plus complement. For the first, number one, geyser is one of nature's most spectacular wonders. Number two, geyser is a rare kind of hot spring. And the last, number three, a small geyser is an amazing phenomenon.
This part called a series of explanation. Geysers are driven by the conversion of thermal to kinetic energy during decompression. In other words, water deep in the ground is heated up by nearby hot rocks. When conditions are just right and the pressure of the overlying rocks is released, the water will erupt out of the ground as a geyser. So this blue word explains why geysers could happen. We could find the scientific words here, such as geysers, thermal, kinetic energy, decompression, and geyser again.
Okay, next, the process of geyser begins when water moves through the ground into the geyser's plumbing system via a series of fissures in the Earth's rock. With the water being deep underground, the water at the bottom of the system is under immense pressure from the water above it. Next, the pressure on the water reaches its boiling point and allows it to reach incredibly high temperatures. The magma at the base of the geyser heats the water throughout the system. As the water reaches its boiling point, it starts to become more volatile. This process forces a relatively small amount of water up the geyser. The sudden drop in pressure lowers the water's boiling point and it bursts into steam. The steam rapidly expands to 1,500 times the volume of water, and this expansion finally forced both water and steam out the mouth of the geyser, erupts out of the Earth's surface. For the brown sentences are how geysers happens. Also, we can find some of scientific words here, such as geyser, magma, volatile, erupts, and earth. Also, we can find some of active verbs such as begins, moves, rises, hits, and expands. In the series of explanation, also we can find some sentences that use simple present tense. For the formula is subject it plus verb 1 plus s or es plus complement. For the first, the process of geyser begins when water moves through blah blah blah. Number two, the pressure on the water rises its boiling point, blah blah blah. Number three, the geyser hits the water throughout the system. Number four, as the water reaches its boiling point, it starts to become more volatile. Number five, this process forces a relatively small amount of water up the geyser. Number six, the steam rapidly expands to 1,500 times the volume of water, blah blah blah. And the last, number seven, is this expansion finally forced both water and steam out the mouth of the geyser, blah, blah, blah.
We can find passive voice and cause and effects as well in explanation text. For the passive voice, there are number one, geysers are driven by the conversion of thermal to kinetic energy during decompression. Number two, water deep in the ground is heated up by nearby hot rocks. Number three, the pressure of the overlaying rocks is released. And for the cause and effects, number one, next, the pressure on the water raises its boiling point and allows it to reach incredibly high temperatures. The magma at the base of the geyser hits the water throughout the system. So for the cause is the magma at the base of the geyser hits the water throughout the system. And the effects from it, is the pressure on the water raises its boiling point and allows it to reach incredibly high temperatures. Number 2, as the water reaches its boiling point, it starts to become more volatile. This process forces a relatively small amount of water up the geyser. The cause: the water reaches its boiling point, it starts to become more volatile. And it effects that this process forces a relatively small amount of water up the geyser. For number 3, the sudden drop in pressure lowers the water's boiling point and it bursts into steam. The steam rapidly expands to 1,500 times the volume of water, and this expansion violently forces both water and steam out the mouth of the geyser, erupts out of the Earth's surface. The cause: the sudden drop in pressure lowers the water's boiling point and it bursts into steam. The effects: the steam rapidly expands to 1,500 times the volume of water, and this expansion violently forces both water and steam out mouth of the geyser. Number 4. In other words, water deep in the ground is heated up by nearby hot rocks. When conditions are just right and the pressure of the overlying rock is released, the water will erupt out of the ground as a geyser. And the cause is hot rocks hits the water throughout the system, and it causes the effects of water deep in the ground is heated up. So for the last part of explanation text is conclusion. A geyser's eruptive activity may change or cease due to ongoing mineral deposition within the geyser plumbing, exchange of functions with nearby hot springs, earthquakes influences, and human intervention. So we could find scientific words as well here. So there are geyser, eruptive, mineral deposition, geyser, earthquakes, and human.
Okay, that's all from us. Thank you for your all attention and goodbye.